Hi guys, welcome back. We're back with another video, and in today's video we're going to talk about a technique which you can use to profit from the markets consistently if you follow the rules. Stay tuned. Guys, welcome back. Okay, so the first thing that we want to talk about is understanding your market structure. You really need to understand your market structure, and you need to trade a chart or a pair, indice, commodity with clarity, right? You need to understand the market structure with clarity, and you also need to understand your external structures and your internal structures. All right, so in this example we are going to touch on market structure, and we're also going to touch on stop hunts, right? Because you know these happen a lot, right? Stop hunts happen a lot in the market, right? So basically, if we look at this chart and actually track where this chart came from, what we can understand is we had a break of structure from this zone, right, giving us a high. Price came back to mitigate this area, and we also had another break of structure leading us to that high right there. But as you can see, the market failed at this point to give us another high, right? So this is basically, if you look at this, right, this is your external structure, right? This is your external structure, these points. This is your external structure, and one thing you can identify is as the market started moving down, right, this is our internal structures, as you can see, because in this case we'd be targeting this order block right here. But in this case I want to show you what can usually happen, or what usually happens rather, in the market, right, as you expect the market to react at an order block. All right, so let's say an example could be something like this, all right, where you have a break of structure and then you target this order block, right, for longs. You know, you look, this becomes your points of interest at this area, right? So we expect a pullback down to this area, and we would want to see longs, but usually that doesn't happen. Most of the times that doesn't happen. I'm going to show you how you can actually react to such in the market, right? So basically, as you can see, as the market was moving down, right, this was a lower low, lower high, lower low, right, into this area, we expected a reaction. As you can see, price failed, right, to give us a high. As you can see, this is the structure that would be targeting to see if price can actually move from this area going to the upside. But as you can see, price failed to give us that high, right, and then price broke structure, as you can see. So if you're expecting to buy around this area, all right, if you're looking for longs around this area, right, as you can see, you now have a lower low, so this area becomes invalid, right? But what usually happens, right, this is called a stop hunt. This comes in as a stop hunt, right? This comes in as a stop hunt because of course a lot of people got their stops below that area. The dealer can push the market, grab those stops, and continue going up. All right, but one thing that you have to do now that you have a lower low, you're expecting higher longs from this area, right? Now that you have a lower low, what you can wait for now is a change of character. Remember, as the market is moving down, right, as the market is moving down, we can identify the market structure, right? We follow the market structure, not the trend, right? So this is also regarded as a break of structure, but some people can call it a change of character. Right, some people can call it a change of character. Why is this a change of character? This is because as we have this lower low, as the market went up, we changed the character, right? We are no longer in that down phase anymore, right? As market gives us a high, right? We have changed the character. So when this happens, we then look to go long at this order block, right? And this is a high probability trade because this is a fresh zone. This would be a fresh zone. But one thing that you need to keep in mind is you need to understand your external structures and your internal structure, right? External and internal, right? That's very important, so you understand how you can then trade, because sometimes you do not know, you know, how long a pullback will take, right? You do not know, so you need to be very careful when trading these internal structures, right? So going to charts, we're going to look at a chart example, right, that I actually identified on USD CAD, right? Remember, the first thing that we want to do is we always want to understand our higher time frames, right? We always want to understand our higher time frame so we can, you know, have a nice bias, right? So as you can see right here, all right, as you can see at this area, as price was moving up, we had this high. Right, as you can see, we had this high. We can see liquidity was definitely grabbed at that area, right? And our structure at this point was this one, right? Remember, as the market was pushing up, we had a higher high, higher low, right? So this was a very important structure, very, very important structure, all right? So as you can see, as the market pushed down, right, as the market pushed down, we didn't really get a clear break of structure, right here, because this is the structure that I'd be keeping an eye on, right, if I want to look for shorts, right? So as you can see, we had a clean break of structure, a nice break of structure, right? What was responsible for that break of structure? This order block right here, right? As you can see, we had a nice decision point type 1 right there, right? And we can also see how price left that area, and this is in your daily time frame, right? Very important. And I love how price then retraced back to that zone, right? So going to the 4-hour time frame now, right? If we can go to the 4-hour time frame, this is what we can identify right here, right? I actually had an example right here. This is on MT4. All right, so I marked this up. So if we look at this from the H1, right, we can see that price, remember, we're targeting this area right here. We understand that price has to move from this area, but we always, we have to wait for confirmation, right? So as price got into that area, right, as price got into that area, right, I'd be looking at these lows, right? I'd be looking to see how price reacts at this low, right? So we had a clean break of structure breaker, as you can see right here. All right, so when that happens, right, you then target. Remember, if you look at it from the daily, we are still within that, right? This is what you see, right? You are still targeting that decision point type 1 right here, right? You need to understand your entry points right there, right? So we had the break of structure right here, right? So as price went up, right, if we go to the M30, right, as price went up to that region, right, what you can wait for, remember our break of structure is this move right here. As price went up, right, what you need to wait for is confirmation, right? So price reacts to the order block, right? What you can actually keep an eye on, right, is the structure. Remember, as price is pushing up, we have a rally, base, rally, right? So this is a nice structure. So that's your, remember, we've got a higher high, higher low. That's your higher low, right? And this is in your M30 time frame, right? And as you can see, we have a clean break of structure below this area. As you can see, a lot of manipulation below this area, and then price went back to a order block, right? And as you can see how price then moved away from that, right? So to minimize your risk, all right, to minimize your risk, you can always go down to your shorter time frames, right, to get a clear picture of where you can actually enter the trade. So right here, this was our supply zone, as you can see, clean supply zone right there, and we also had some liquidity just above that area, right? And we can also identify stops being hit around this area. All right, so price then went back to this area, and this is where we actually had that movement to the downside. But this is all because we had understood what we are looking for in the daily time frame, what the daily time frame is showing us, right? Remember, seeing this from the higher time frame with clarity will increase your probability. So if we look at this from the btmm perspective, what you can actually identify is this was a nice peak, right? A very nice peak. We had a peak formation right here, right? And then as you can see, we had 1 week of rise into a consolidation, right? And then we had the second week of rise right there, right? So we didn't really get that level 3 move up to the upside, as you can see. Not really, can't really call it a move, but we can see this is a peak formation. Right, we can see this is a peak formation, and we can confirm that by reading the structure, right? Just by reading the structure. So if you wanted to be more conservative, as you can see, you had a peak formation up here. If you wanted to be more conservative, right, you'd wait for these major structures to be broken. As you can see, you had a clean break of structure. This is our break of structure below that area, right? This changes. Remember, we're moving to the upside. The market structure was to the upside, but now, as you can see, after this break of structure, right, we then wait for price to move back to an order block. And as you can see, this is the move that we had, right? As you can see what the dealer did right there, a lot of stops above that area, right? And then the price went back to a clean order block, right, giving you that reversal right there. And as you can see, we've been moving away from that, right? So just by understanding that we are moving from a supply zone, and also by understanding with clarity that this is a daily order block, right? This will help you then trade away from it. Remember, the goal is to trade away from the peak. So as you can see, we had a visible stop hunt above the Asian range that day, right? And then the next day, as you can see, we did not have a stop hunt at that area, but what we can identify is we had a 5200 crossover and a stop hunt just above, right? So if you missed that, you also had the opportunity to take this trade right here, but I wouldn't take it because this was on Friday, right? I wouldn't take this because this was on Friday, right? But these are the examples, you know, of what you can look for in the market when trading such. All right, you need to you trade this with clarity, and you just need to understand the market structure. Right? That's all you need to understand your market structure, because if you don't understand your market structure, it will be very difficult for you to trade. All right, it will be difficult for you to make you know, any wise trading decisions in the market. All right, guys, so we'll look at more examples after the break. Stay tuned. How's it going, guys? Check out our recommended broker Winsor and discover a world of trading opportunities from forex pairs, indices, and being able to diversify your portfolio with bouncy FDs. Get more trading power with up to a $10,000 deposit bonus, which you can utilize professionally to maximize gains on your trading account. Start trading now with different deposit methods and fast withdrawals. Sign up by clicking this link in the description below, and this will take you to this page, which will be able to sign up and trade with the best broker. Don't forget to join our Telegram channel for free signals and free setups and more educational content. Hi guys, welcome back. All right guys, so here's an example that I have on US 30. This is the 2-hour time frame, right? And I want to show you what happened. As you can clearly see this imbalance that we had right here. As you can see, we broke structure going to the upside, and price went all the way up, manipulating, right? And then finally making its way back to this zone right here. This is the zone where we would expect a reaction to the upside. So, you know, a textbook example would be price, right, breaking structure, right, and then let me just delete that to make it more clear. I've got a rally, base rally. All right, so this is price breaking structure, and then we target this, or we look to take trades at this order block right here, right? So we expect price to give us a retracement, and then we expect to see a movement to the upside, right, after, you know, your different confluences and confirmations, right? So as you can see, what happened right here, right? This is not really how it played out on this chart. As you can see, price actually went below that area, right? But when this happens, remember, technically we are in a down phase, right? Because we were looking at this structure right here, which was broken, and price continued moving to the downside, breaking structure, and we could, you know, identify these lower lows being created. So technically we are in a down phase, but we need to keep in mind, keep this at the back of your mind, that we are, you know, running into an order block, a very, you know, clean order block, right? So as you can see, that area got cleared, right? So what do you do when this happens? The first thing you want to identify is your previous structure. In this case, this would be your previous structure, right? As you can see, as price was aiming to the downside, we had something like this: drop, base, drop. So this is the area we'd want to keep an eye on. As you can see, price then pushed up, giving us a higher high, right? So this is us following structure, giving us a higher high. And then when this happens, the area that we want to focus on is this zone right here, right? This is the order block that we'd want to keep an eye on, right, to go long. As you can see, right, this is after confirmations. This does require patience, right, if you are trading your higher time frames, but you can also use this for intraday trading, right, for those who like intraday trading, you know, indices or commodities like gold. So as you can see, price then tapped into that area and then continued going to the upside, and finally went back to this supply zone right there. So if you can go to your shorter time frames, this is what you can see, right? You can also take it to your shorter time frames depending on the time frame excuse me, that you use to enter. All right, depending on the time frame that you use to enter, but this is what you have. All right, we can also see how price went to this area, right? I love this type of accumulation to the upside. All right, so price then, you know, all those stops, a bunch of liquidity down there was taken out, all right, and you had an opportunity to enter right here, right, as you can see, right, with confirmations, right? All right, guys, hope you learned something from this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new here. Check out our Telegram channel. Find the link in the description below. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay connected by joining our Telegram channel through the link in the description below for free signals, free setups, and more educational content. Do note that this is our only Telegram channel. Any other Telegram channel with our name or logo is a scam, and do not fall for scams. Cheers.